Hello, my name is IObioha, and for this assignment 6.5 final video, part 1 draft video, a virtual machine or VM is, for me, is essentially a software-based computer that runs inside a physical computer instead of having to dedicate an entire physical server to one operating system or application. Virtualization allows multiple virtual machines to share the resources of one physical server. So the main component that makes this possible is the hypervisor. Now, the hypervisor is the software layer that creates and manages a virtual machine. There are two general types of hypervisors. We have the type 1 hypervisors. These run directly on a physical hardware and are commonly used in enterprise environment, while the type 2 hypervisor run on top of an existing operating system and are often used for testing or personal development. So each virtual machine has several virtual hardware components. These include the virtual CPU, memory or RAM, some know it as RAM or memory, whichever one comes first, and storage, network interfaces, and other virtual devices. So the VM also has its own operating system, such as Windows Server or Linux. Even though these resources are virtual, the VM uses resources from the underlying physical host. So one example I have personally worked with is creating and managing virtual machine for learning Windows Server and Linux administration. For example, I can create a Windows Server VM, configure it a networking and storage, install services, and practice administrative tasks without needing a separate physical computer for every server. So if I may make a configuration a mistake, I can troubleshoot it or rebuild the virtual machine without affecting a physical production server. So in a business environment, I will use virtualization for several important reasons. First is resource utilization. Instead of having several physical servers that are only using a small percentage of their CPU and memory, a company can consolidate multiple workload onto the fewer physical server. So this can reduce hardware, electricity, cooling, and maintenance costs. Second is flexibility and scalability. Another major advantage is testing and development. Virtualization also supports a backup, a disaster recovery, and a business continuity. So virtual machines can often be backed up, replicated, or moved between hosts more easily than physical servers if one physical host properly designed environments can allow workloads to be restored or moved to another host. So overall, I will leverage virtualization in a business setting to improve resource utilization, reduce costs, provide faster deployment, create safe testing environment, and improve disaster recovery capability. My experience of working with virtual machine has also helped me understand that virtualization is not just about creating a computer inside another computer, but rather it is a way of designing IT infrastructure that is more flexible, manageable, and scalable. If I were applying this knowledge in an IT position, I will use virtualization as one part of a larger infrastructure strategy, while also considering security, performance, backup, availability, and the specific needs of the organization where I currently work. So that is it for this assignment. My name once again has been IObioha. Thank you for listening.